Change is easy. Improvement is far more difficult. Those, according to Google, are the wise words of Ferdinand Porsche, engineer, inventor, designer, and of course the great-great-grandfather of the Volkswagen Beetle. It seems quite possible that the boffins at VW used these few phrases as their mantra during the design and development of the new Polo, because instead of radically changing the outgoing model, what they've done is to make detailed improvements to nearly every single aspect of what was already unquestionably a very good car. The new one therefore looks like a Polo from the outside, it feels and smells like a Polo inside, and by all accounts it drives like a Polo should. That's not to say that the engineers have been slacking, however. Rather, they've been doing some sterling work in the areas that would make Herr Porsche very proud.
The topics are two special new engines. It's a 1.5 four-cylinder TSI engine with 110 kilowatts, so 150 horsepower, and an active cylinder management, so it's a very efficiency engine, and also a new 1.0 TSI three-cylinder engine with natural gas. It runs bivalent, so it runs with a 13 kilo gas tanks underfloor and also with a 40 liters TSI tank, so the customer can use both tanks for a range over 1,000 kilometers.
It is also possible that Volkswagen's designers didn't have much time to work on the new Polo because they were too busy resolving the shape of this car, the eagerly awaited T-Roc. As in T-Rex meets Amarok, right? Well, apparently not.
So the name for the T-Roc, the T refers to all our SUVs within the portfolio. So the Tiguan and the Touareg all start with a T. And of course the Roc stands for a really rocky, progressive design language we have with this car. And with all those self-confidence, we put a really self-confident name, the T-Roc. We have a really progressive design language, especially the C-pillar with the coupe character of the car gives it a own positioning within the brand, so a brand new model with its own positioning below the Tiguan. So especially if you look on all the individualization options we find within the car, we are really looking for a young urban customer clientele within the segment.
It's unlikely that any manufacturer will aim a new crossover at aged country folk, so there's nothing groundbreaking about the T-Roc's market positioning. Its styling, however, is quite adventurous in VW terms, and unique features like the low-set daytime running lights, which double as indicators, are sure to set it apart from the crowd. Except if that crowd happens to include the Audi Q2, with which the T-Roc bears more than a passing resemblance. If the dynamic abilities of the acclaimed Tiguan is anything to go by, however, Volkswagen product is bound to outshine that of Audi, and it should offer better value for money too. Bang for buck is something Korean vehicles have long been renowned for, but in recent times, Kia in particular has started creeping into the premium price territory. It may not always be justifiable, but in the case of the Picanto, for instance, we believe the car substantiates the stiffer price tag. The same is likely to apply to the Stonic, which, like the T-Roc, offers a wealth of personalization options. There are 20 two-tone color combinations and 5 possible roof colors. And again, like the T-Roc, the engine lineup features a 1-liter turbocharged engine. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto will help you to connect your mobile device quickly and effortlessly, while the boot will swallow 352 liters of luggage just as easily. That's ample for a car in the Stonic segment of the market, but as they say, everything is relative. BMW 6 Series GT will gobble up 610 litres of Louis Vuitton suitcases, tailor-made golf clubs, and whatever else you and your well-heeled passengers may choose to take along for the journey. The Gran Turismo's reason for being is space and comfort, two attributes that are often overlooked in this era of so-called sportiness. Despite having a lower roofline than the 5 Series GT, which it replaces, by the way, the 6 offers improved headroom for passengers in the rear, while the seat is actually intended for 3 occupants, not just 2. Now for the comfort part. Improved sound deadening means the cabin is better insulated from the outside world, while road imperfections are ironed out by the 4-wheel independent suspension with rear self-leveling. The latter is standard, but you can also opt for full adaptive air suspension for a true magic carpet ride, or the executive drive package should you be of the sporty persuasion. If you are, you might want to consider this car too. although you'll have to fasten those golf bags a little bit more securely. Audi's latest RS4 continues the company's long legacy of building uber-fast station wagons, and fast this new Avant most certainly is. 0 to 100 kilometers an hour takes just 4.1 seconds, and it'll go on to an optionally de-restricted 280 k's an hour. It also looks the part with the gaping air intakes, distinctive roof spoiler, and signature oval tailpipes, leaving you in no doubt that this is the hottest A4 of them all. Both the Nogaro blue paintwork and 20-inch alloys you see here are optional extras, but it might be worthwhile if you desire maximum visual impact. Another car that is sure to have a tremendous visual impact regardless of colour is the Alfa Romeo Stelvio, which has just been launched locally. Named after the 2.7 kilometre high Alpine Pass with its 75 hairpins, the name alludes to the handling prowess of Alfa's first ever SUV. Near perfect weight distribution, a 4-link rear suspension system that's so clever it's been patented, and the most direct steering ratio in its segment combine to make for an invigorating driving experience. This is further enhanced by a turbocharged 4-cylinder engine that pushes out 206 kilowatts and 400 newton meters. At 4.7 meters long and 1.7 meters wide, the Stelvio is not as big as you might think, and neither is it as expensive. Starting at 810,000 Rand, it significantly undercuts the similarly sized Jaguar F-Pace, yet still comes with all the comfort, convenience and safety features you'd expect. Who knows, perhaps this could be the car that will take Alfa Romeo sales to new heights.